Imagine if the greatest threat to your health wasn't disease. It wasn't aging. It wasn't a lack of medicine. It was comfort. Not because comfort is harmful, but because your body was never built to live inside it every hour of every day. Now, imagine opening your eyes, not in your bedroom, but 20,000 years ago. No pharmacies, no refrigerators, no grocery stores, no electricity, no calendars, no chairs waiting for you, no certainty you'll even eat before the sun sets. By everything we believe today, you shouldn't survive. And yet, generation after generation, humans didn't just survive that world, they dominated it. They crossed frozen continents on foot, walked through deserts that could kill within days, climbed mountains without modern equipment, lived long enough to raise families, and built the foundation of every civilization that followed. So here's the mystery. How did people living in one of the harshest environments in human history develop bodies capable of extreme strength, endurance, and resilience, while millions of us today, surrounded by the safest, most advanced technology ever created, struggle with obesity, type 2 diabetes, chronic back pain, heart disease, anxiety, and constant exhaustion? Was ancient life secretly healthier? Or are we measuring health by completely different definitions? Because when archaeologists, evolutionary biologists, geneticists, and medical researchers began connecting evidence from ancient skeletons, prehistoric campsites, human DNA, and modern hunter-gatherer populations, they found something unexpected. The biggest shift in human health may not have happened when we invented medicine. It may have happened the moment we stopped living the way evolution designed us to live. And if that's true, then the most important truth about your body has been with you all along. Before ancient humans could become healthier than us, they first had to survive childhood. And for thousands of generations, nature was ruthless. Every year brought freezing winters, relentless droughts, predators that hunted humans as prey, and diseases no one understood. The weak didn't receive second chances. The unlucky rarely left descendants. It sounds cruel, because it was. But over countless generations, evolution wasn't asking one question. It kept asking the same question. Who can adapt? Slowly, almost invisibly, the human body became one of nature's greatest survival machines. Not the strongest, not the fastest, but astonishingly flexible. Your ancestors could burn enormous amounts of energy when food was abundant, then survive weeks of scarcity when it wasn't. Their brains became addicted to sweet foods, because sweetness usually meant life-saving calories. Fat became precious because tomorrow's hunt could fail. Even the urge to rest wasn't laziness. It was biology protecting energy that might be needed to escape a predator before sunset. Every instinct inside you was written by a world where survival was never guaranteed. And that's where the real paradox begins. Because those same instincts are still running your body today. Only the world around them has completely changed. Your brain still celebrates sugar. Even though sugar now exists on almost every street, your body still stores extra calories. As if another famine is waiting just beyond the horizon, your stress system still prepares you for immediate danger. Yet, instead of escaping lions or rival tribes, it spends months reacting to deadlines, traffic, bills, notifications, and endless streams of information. The emergency never truly ends. Scientists call this an evolutionary mismatch. A situation where a species suddenly begins living in an environment far different from the one that shaped its biology. And humans may be one of the greatest examples ever discovered. Evolution usually works over tens of thousands, even millions of years. Civilization transformed our lives in only a few thousand. Industry changed them in a few centuries. Digital technology changed them in just a few decades. From evolution's perspective, that happened almost overnight. Our surroundings evolved at breathtaking speed. Our bodies didn't. That's why researchers increasingly argue that many modern chronic illnesses aren't simply the result of getting older. They're the consequence of ancient biology trying to solve problems that no longer exist. While struggling against problems it was never designed to face, and perhaps the clearest evidence of that transformation wasn't hidden inside our genes, it was hidden inside our bones. Ancient bones don't tell stories with words, they tell them with pressure. Every step, every climb, every heavy load, every year of survival leaves a physical signature behind. Unlike stone, bone is alive. Throughout your life, specialized cells are constantly breaking it down and rebuilding it, responding to the forces placed upon it. The more meaningful the load, the stronger the structure becomes. Modern medicine calls this Wolff's Law, the principle that bone adapts to the demands placed upon it. And when archaeologists compared prehistoric skeletons with those of people living after the rise of cities, they noticed something unexpected. In many regions, the older hunter-gatherers often had more robust limb bones than the early farmers who came after them. That doesn't mean every ancient human was stronger. It means their daily lives demanded something many modern lives rarely do. Constant, varied movement, not 1 hour in a gym, an entire lifetime, walking over uneven ground, crossing rivers, climbing rocky slopes, carrying children, transporting water, gathering firewood, tracking animals for miles. Every task strengthened a different part of the body. Movement wasn't scheduled. It was woven into existence itself. Then, history changed. Around 12,000 years ago, agriculture began transforming human civilization. For the first time, large numbers of people no longer had to follow migrating animals or seasonal plants. Communities settled, villages grew, fields replaced wilderness. Eventually, cities appeared. It was one of humanity's greatest achievements. Food became more predictable, populations expanded, civilizations emerged. Writing, engineering, mathematics, governments, and science all became possible because people could finally stay in one place. But every revolution comes with a price. Archaeological evidence from several early farming societies suggests that many populations became shorter than some of the hunter-gatherers before them. Dental cavities became more common in communities relying heavily on cultivated grains. Repetitive labor left new patterns of wear on joints and spines. Life became more stable. Yet, in some ways, the human body paid for that stability. This wasn't because farming was a mistake. Without agriculture, the modern world would never exist. Instead, it revealed something far more important. Progress and health don't always move in the same direction. A civilization can become wealthier, more advanced, more powerful, while the bodies that built it quietly begin adapting to an entirely different reality. And that lesson may be even more relevant today. Because the greatest transformation wasn't farming, it wasn't industry, it wasn't even modern medicine. It was the moment convenience became so successful that the human body no longer had to do the very things it evolved to expect. And that's where the biggest misconception about ancient health finally begins to unravel. So, were ancient humans actually healthier than we are? In some ways, yes. Their bodies moved more, their food was simpler, and many modern diseases were rare. But they also lived closer to death. A small infection, a difficult birth, one bad winter. That was enough. So this isn't a story about who was healthier. It's a story about trade-offs. We gained safety. We gained time, we gained control, but we also lost something quieter, the constant demands that kept the human body strong without ever trying. And here's the part that matters now. Your body hasn't changed as much as your world has. It still expects movement, it still expects effort, it still expects a life that challenges it, and when it doesn't get that, it adapts, not by failing, but by becoming exactly what your life allows it to be. That's the real legacy of our past, not stronger humans, but a body that always listens and always adjusts. So the question isn't whether ancient humans were healthier. It's this: what is your life turning you into? If this made you think differently, subscribe Ancient Era for more stories where science and history reveal what your body has always known.